Get ready for Rugby Fever, where young talents from all over come to showcase their skills in the ultimate school showdown. Meet the future field heroes of rugby. Experience the thrill of every try time. Feel the power of epic tackles. Chase the school glory with every match. Cheer for your school. Get ready to watch epic rugby battle and witness the rise of future champs. The excitement is contagious. Catch the action here. Welcome to the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2024, where legends begin.
A very good afternoon and welcome to ThePapare.com as we bring you live action from the clash of all clashes, Royal College hosting St. Peter's at the Royal College Sports Complex, or as it has become known as a fortress to Royal, just the complex to all the Royal College faithful. St. Peter's have made the short trek across from the canal from Bambalapitiya across to Reed Avenue to see whether they can destroy Royal's title ambitions and see whether they can take one step towards holding on to the title that they won in 2023. Both these teams met at the start of the season in 2023, and that match was a match that both of us would rather forget in the commentary box. Joining me, former Royal captain Abdullah Yusuf. It's going to be an absolute cracker of a game today.
Yes, most definitely, Shanak. Yes, good evening, everyone. Just coming into the grounds, you could just feel the tension out there. The atmosphere was electric, and I'm sure as we inch closer towards kickoff time, that same intensity and the same electric atmosphere is going to get reflected at the ground as well.
Crowds have been pouring in from about 3 o'clock this afternoon to the complex, and we have the max temperature forecast for this evening, 31 degrees Celsius. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that minimum temperature or the wind speed, and it's mostly clear is what we have been told. And looking around, the clouds as well seem to have receded, Abdullah. I don't think there's any threat of rain, and that should make for a good fast game of rugby. I think both teams would have been a little worried that the conditions, as unpredictable as they have been over the last few weeks, will be a factor, but it doesn't look like they're going to be, as this vast crowd that has poured in here, both visitors and home team, look like they are going to get their money's worth today.
Absolutely, and yes, just looking at the under-16 game as well, seems a very fast-paced game. Sure, both teams who decide to keep possession of the ball and use their three quarters are going to get full money's worth. And I think tactics for this game as well, Shanak, is going to be critical. St. Peter's probably more of an all-round team. They like to play the game with a bit of width, mix it up with the forwards. Royal will try and do with a bit more control, especially up front. They'll want to hold on to possession, not just kick the ball away. And as you can see, the crowd slowly but surely picking up. Saw those scenes, Shanak, as soon as the gates opened to get tickets on Friday. There were just massive queues. From that itself, you understood the magnitude of this game.
Well, I think the Royal crowd were a little bit on the edge of their seats during this game against St. Joseph's, which they ended up winning. And then Trinity, of course, signaling a little bit of intent against St. Anthony's. Then we had St. Peter's, who ran up a mammoth score against Zahira in preparation for this big clash. And these are highlights, of course, from last week's action. We had Wesley, who beat Kingswood in tame fashion compared to the manner in which St. Joseph's beat them yesterday. And St. Thomas's conceded 18 points against Risumangala, but managed to end up winning that game fairly comfortably. And this was the upset of the week. Science College expected to win this one comfortably, but didn't end up doing so. 15 points to 10 is how they ended up winning the game against Science College in Dharmaraja with one of their first wins of the season. We had Vidyartha taking on Thurston and notching up a comfortable win there as well.
So that was pretty much last week's games in a nutshell. But today, all roads leading towards the Royal College Sports Complex. So you can see the crowd eagerly waiting kickoff of this crunch encounter between two unbeaten teams, St. Peter's and Royal. And Shanak, as you very correctly said, last year it was the first game of the week, first game of the season for both these teams. It was a very scrappy affair, which the Peterites managed to just clinch it with the last play of the game. But in this situation, Shanaka, both teams have got about 6 games under their belt coming into this match. So probably we can expect a lot more fluency from both teams.
I certainly think we will, and these are last week's results. We had St. Joseph's going down to Royal, but not after they had led at half-time and set a few cuts among the pigeons in the Royal camp. But in the end, Royal coming through in that last quarter of the game as we expect them to. Trinity winning 32-19 against St. Anthony's. Wesley 43, Kingswood 17, St. Peter's another 50-pointer against Zaira, St. Thomas's also with a 50-pointer against Sri Sumangala, Dharmaraja beating Science College at home, DS Senanayaka in that corker of a game against Isipatana, a game that swung to and fro. The lead changed hands so many times, and at the 70th minute, unfortunately for DS, it was Isipatana who held the lead, and Vidyartha another 50-point game against Thurston. Just a few lopsided results there, Abdullah, showing that perhaps there are just too many teams in this top division.
Yeah, most definitely, and especially the teams who have made it to a division after a long period of time have definitely struggled, as this table would indicate. This is, of course, the other group, Isipatana and St. Thomas's in number 1 and 2, but Trinity and DS Senanayaka in with a shout as well. So, lot to play in this week's game as well as the final week that's coming up. And this group is very open, isn't it, Shanaka?
It is very open. St. Thomas's with 4 wins, but they haven't played Isipatana yet. Trinity and DS have played both Isipatana and St. Thomas's and each other, which means that their 3 wins are of a little bit more value than the 4 wins that St. Thomas's have at the moment in the table, which means that they could take that number 2 spot as well, unless St. Thomas's managed to win a couple of their games left quite handsomely. But talking about the bottom edge of the table, we have St. Anthony's and Sri Sumangala not being able to get any wins under their belt, and 137 and 233 points against them as well. So you have to ask, do they really belong in this division? But Science College will be the disappointment from this group.
Absolutely. Until last week's game against Dharmaraja, they were in with a shout, but just that close defeat up in Kandy has pretty much dented whatever hopes they had of making it to the super round.
Fortunately, we've talked about Science College for all the wrong reasons this season, and I'm sure they would want to put that behind them. But this is a game that we've all been waiting for. Isipatana unbeaten on that side of the draw, and on this side of the draw, we have 2 unbeaten teams, St. Peter's and Royal College. Vidyartha and St. Joseph's also 2 very good teams that are in 3rd and 4th place, but unfortunately for them, it doesn't look like they have what it takes to go through. Wesley, Zahira, Kingswood and Thurston in on the other half, and despite being unbeaten, Abdullah, this is going to be a very important clash towards the league title. Although there will be a second round of games, this is a really important morale booster.
Absolutely, and also the fact that these points are going to be carried forward. If Royal just have to look back at that first game last season, that defeat really put them back, and they were just playing catch up when it came to the points table as well. So crucial game for both teams. Just the win will do. I don't think they'd even be considering the bonus point, because if it comes, that's what exactly it is, a bonus. But both teams, no doubt, will going all out to try and get that all-important win.
Well, they have been smashing away, and they have picked up the bonus points along the way. Royal have just dropped 1 opportunity at bonus points against Wesley, but St. Peter's have picked up bonus points from all that games previously. So I think that is something that will hold them in good stead as well. And maybe a team will walk away with a losing bonus point today. You never know. That's also a probability. So both these schools in very similar colors, Abdullah. There's gold and blue in both the flags, and a little bit more of extra white in the St. Peter's one. It'll be the same on the jerseys as well, which means that the referees will have a difficult time on the pitch. But it is going to be one where the crowds are also going to play a part at this Royal College Sports Complex.
Absolutely, and just looking at the under-16 game that is currently on as well, I think your point about the jerseys clashing is very valid, but it's been the case for some time, and I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. Players will be able to adjust to that, as well as the referees. As you can see, the ground condition is in pristine state, if you may say so, and I think the team that just makes that initiative to run the ball will get its money's worth.
Well, it's a far cry from the way this stadium started, isn't it, Abdullah? I think you and I were playing under 15 when this stadium was coming up, and I remember coming to play you guys at a match here, and it was called off because the ground was about knee-deep in water. I could say that it has come a significantly long way from there in the last 30-odd years. So we'll be back on ThePapare.com with much more live action after this.
Don't go away, the action's just begun.
Right. Studies, ikai, jobs, dekatuna karanda.
Real energy for real life. Ride.
Radials. The road is yours.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
නිකම් බොරුවට රිස්ක් එකක් ගන්නේ ඇයි? NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න. NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
Gold hair and body wash shaker. Seat Car Radials. The road is yours.
Surf Excel පළමු සේදුමෙන් ඉතා පහසුවෙන් තද පැල්ලම් ඉවත් කරන කම්ෆර්ට් ප්‍රීමියම් සුවඳ සමගින් දැන් රුපියල් 540කට පමණයි.
Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff. හැමසිතක්ම පිවිදේ, රස lemon රසයේ, ජීවිතයම මිහිරයි. Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, chill when lemon.
වතුරත් ලීක් වෙලා ස්ලැබ් එකත් ඉවරයි. බලන්නකො දැන් සාලේ කැත. චමරි.
Swisstek Aquashield 2K waterproof දැම්මා නම් වතුර කාන්දු වෙන්නෙත් නෑ. හිතටත් නිදහස්.
Swisstek Aquashield 2K waterproofer. සීල් කරන්න හොඳම කෙනා.
It is my vision that wakes me up, not my alarm. I make mistakes, but I will never be defeated.
My biggest competitor is myself.
Vibe account from Commercial Bank for the youth who think beyond limits.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Gold hair and body wash shaker.
Hot and spicy fun vibe එකකින් වර කරන්න. Beat එක remake කරන්න නැතෙන්න. හදවත වවලා යන්න ගින්නර fashion කරන්න. fun තුරන්න කොතුමි kick එක වෙන්න. Cream කොතුමි fun තමයි.
හැමදේම අතළඟ තියෙද්දි දුක් විඳින්නේ ඇයි? NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Right. Studies, ikai, jobs deka tuna karanna
Real energy for real life. Ride. Real energy for real life. Ride.
Get keys to your wheels and experience people-friendly vehicle leasing with Amana Bank. Enjoy the lowest monthly installment and flexible financing up to 7 years. Apply online at www.amanabank.lk or call 0117 756 756. Amana Bank. It's your bank.
Don't go away, the action's just begun.
Welcome back to live pictures from the Royal College Sports Complex as the Royalists look to host defending champion St. Peter's. The Royal team have just finished their warm-up and they're being clapped back into their dressing room by the Royal faithful, who have come to view the complex as somewhat of a fortress. Abdullah, they haven't lost to this opposition here since 2010.
That's right. Quite a significant record, but sure the Peterites will have other ideas today. Have to say, Shanika, just looking at both teams, Peterites probably the more consistent team in terms of performances.
Well, this man would want to have a little bit of a say in the action today. Vishenka Silva, he's already scored 11 tries and that really is a fantastic return for just 5 games played. Gayan Pereira and Dulaj Navodya, who will be on show today as well. Gayan Pereira from Vidyartha College scoring tries and kicking penalties, so he's a big factor as well in the way that this league has been turned out. Dulaj Navodya at number 8 for St. Peter's. Ayash Shyam also will be on show today. So the 2 number 8s on the top try scorers list, and Seneshka Liana Gunawardena, who will be in action today across town at Mount Lavinia as St. Thomas's will be taking on Dharmaraja College. So he will be looking to add to that tally. So all these boys except Gayan Pereira will be in action on this Saturday afternoon looking to add to their tallies. But Vishenka Silva, what a performance from him. Royal will be very hard pressed to keep them in check, the Peterite wingers.
Yeah, that's right. They've just got to ensure that they cut off whatever space they give Silva, as you can see, topping the points list as well. He's not their place kicker, but the fact that he scored 11 wonderful tries sees him taking top spot in the point scorers. He's followed by Oshada Pereira of Science College. With the other skipper, Gayan Pereira follows with 40 points. And Nabil Yahya has got a bit of a second lease of life since coming into that second center position. Will have a big role to play today with his place kicking as well. He's around 40 points, followed by Rusit Tamodia from Vidyartha with 39 points.
Yes, interesting we talk about Nabil Yahya. He's actually had a second lease of life since coming back from that knee injury, Abdullah, that really impacted him last season. And he's come back to center today. And he's alongside Thiven Pereira, his captain, who is playing at 10. So he got an axis which can kick at 10 and 12. And we've also had a change in the midfield for St. Peter's. We have Amit Jayavira, who's coming back from a long knee injury, coming back into this crunch game without much game time in the previous half of the season. So very interesting to see how these players go, especially because Yahya played at fullback in the game against St. Joseph's, and probably Royal's worst performance to date in that game. And maybe that has led to them trying to bring him back, because I thought he did well at 12.
Yes, he did, and also he's definitely got the ability to get over the gain line. He's a pretty strong lad with very strong lower body strength as well. So that'll be a crucial part of that thinking, to try and use him to get over the gain line, to get the Royal forwards on the front foot as much as possible. So he'll have a big role to play in addition, of course, to his place kicking.
Well, here we are at the complex to bring you Royal versus St. Peter's, and we've already had a game yesterday. St. Joseph's taking on Kingswood, and 55-5. And it's all 5s on the scoreboard there, with Kingswood suffering a big loss. St. Anthony's take on Isipatana at Nittawala today. DS take on Sri Sumangala at Havelock Park, and will want a big bonus point win there, the DS lads. And Zahira will be taking on Thurston. It's a bottom of the table clash, and Zahira will be looking for a win there as well. St. Thomas's taking on Dharmaraja. That could be a bit of a banana skin game for St. Thomas's, but at the big club grounds they play pretty well, so hopefully for from their point of view to reaching that number 2 or keeping that number 2 position, this game will not be a disaster for them. Science taking on Trinity, that could be an interesting game as well, because Trinity are coming down to Colombo. They've travelled down to Colombo a lot, and this time they're at the hot Sugatadasa Stadium, which is a hard ground, and Science would have had the opportunity of training there as well. Vidyartha taking on Wesley, and that's going to be a really entertaining game, Abdullah. I'm really looking forward to catching up on that game after this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And both teams, unfortunately, are out of the running to make it to that super round. So they'll probably be able to just express themselves freely and just throw the ball around and play the game the way they like to play without much pressure. So, yes, it no doubt will be a very entertaining game.
Well, the Royal crowd are looking expectantly on, and I'm sure the Royal crowd gathered around not just in Colombo or around the country, but from wherever you are in the world will also be expectant. We'll be back after the break.
Don't go away, the action's just begun.
Stop! Didn't you know you can get free delivery with Uber One? Wait, really? Yes, you can get unlimited free delivery on eligible orders with Uber Eats. Order this, and that, even groceries. You can also get 5% back in Uber credits on rides. Priority service exclusively with our top-rated drivers. And with Uber Eats, expect your order to arrive on time, every time. With just a few taps, unlock exclusive perks and savings. Plus, enjoy your first month free. Sign up for Uber One now.
Gold hair and body wash එක.
කොහෙන් හරි කමන්නේ ෆොටෝ එක තිබ්බනම් මට මේ බිත්තියේ කැත වහගන්න තිබ්බා.
චෞමරි අක්කා. බිත්තියට ස්විස් ටෙක් ස්කිම් කෝඩ් ගාලා ෆිනිෂ් කළා නම් ඔය ප්‍රශ්න මුකුත් නැහැ.
ස්විස් ටෙක් ස්කිම් කෝඩ් ෆිනිෂ් එකට හොඳම කෙනා.
එක පැත්තකින් වාගෙනදී තව පැත්තකින් මතුවෙනවා. මේ ටයිල් එක බෑ. දෙක තුනක් කැඩිලත් එක්ක. චොමරි අක්කා.
ජීවිත කාලය පුරාම අල්ලන් ඉන්න නම් ටයිල් අල්ලන්න ඕන ස්විස් ටෙක් ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව්.
ස්විස් ටෙක් ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් අල්ලන්න හොඳම කෙනා.
Real energy for real life. Ride.
Surf Excel. පළමු සේදුමෙන් ඉතා පහසුවෙන් තද පැල්ලම් ඉවත් කරන කම්ෆර්ට් ප්‍රීමියම් සුවඳ සමගින් දැන් රුපියල් 540කට පමණයි.
Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff. හැමසිතක්ම පිපිදේ, රස lemon රසයේ. ජීවිතයම මිහිරයි. Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff. Chill when a lemon.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
Stop! Didn't you know you can get free delivery with Uber One? Wait, really? Yes, you can get unlimited free delivery on eligible orders with Uber Eats. Order this, and that, even groceries. You can also get 5% back in Uber credits on rides. Priority service exclusively with our top-rated drivers. And with Uber Eats, expect your order to arrive on time, every time. With just a few taps, unlock exclusive perks and savings. Plus, enjoy your first month free. Sign up for Uber One now. Stop! Didn't you know you can get free delivery with Uber One? Wait, really? Yes, you can get unlimited free delivery on eligible orders with Uber Eats. Order this, and that, even groceries. You can also get 5% back in Uber credits on rides. Priority service exclusively with our top-rated drivers. And with Uber Eats, expect your order to arrive on time, every time. With just a few taps, unlock exclusive perks and savings. Plus, enjoy your first month free. Sign up for Uber One now.
Get keys to your wheels and experience people-friendly vehicle leasing with
Don't go away, the action's just begun.
Moments before kickoff here on ThePapare.com at the Royal College Sports Complex as St. Peter's run out, ready to defend their title and take their unbeaten tag through to the second round of action. Royal, the home team, are completely fired up. They stormed out of their dressing room as well, and it looks like we are set for a blockbuster clash over the next 70 minutes or so. On ThePapare.com, Abdullah, everything points to an absolute corker of a game.
Yeah, Shanaga, at the start of the season, when the fixtures did come out, this was the game that everyone had their eyes on. With all due respect to to all the other teams in Group B, but it's turned out that way. Both teams comfortably, more or less, winning their games and have set up this encounter, which will decide the group champions.
Well, the team anthems have been done, and here are the visitors. St. Peter's College, Veerabang Ranasinghe, Ridmal, Revon Pereira and Shenuka Pereira in the second row. Kularatna, Aiden Fernando, who has been brilliant this season. Dulaj Navodaya at number 8. Salit Gallage, Rahul Peter, Vishenka Silva, the top try scorer. Emit Jafir returns to the side alongside Yumet Chihara, Praneeth Silva and Pasindu Bandara, brilliant counter-attackers.
So this is the Royal team. Tinet Kamage, Naqib Mohammed, Ajmal Marika, Papsala Samarakon coming in for the suspended Veera Surya, Borneka Senanaika, Yuvinder Tugala, Altaf Aman and Ayesh Shyam will make up the 8. Simek Shafiq comes into the number 9 position and will pair off with skipper Tiven Pereira. Amika Samarasinghe, Nabil Yahya, Dasis Patirana, Fahad Nazar and Yuan Patirana will form the rest of the three-quarter line.
Well, the two Patiranas reunited in the back line for Royal College, and of course Tiven Pereira moving from the 13th position that he has occupied for most of the season, Abdullah, to the number 10 jersey that he knows quite well. Ravin Alexander, the man under pressure in the middle, of course, under pressure only because this is such a big game, and he will be assisted by Aruna Santa, the experienced Aruna Santa, and Nipun Amaratunga, and hopefully we'll be talking about them for all the right reasons at the end of these 70 minutes. How do you see that positional shift going, Abdullah?
Yes, they brought two experienced campaigners. Shimek was pretty much part of the team last year, but just couldn't make it into that starting 15 for the previous games. But for this big game, they have brought him probably purely for his experience, as well as the skipper Tiven Pereira shifting to the number 10 position as well. So it's pretty clear that they feel that that halves combination is going to be crucial in today's game, and let's see whether those changes actually pay off.
It'll be interesting to see if there was a reaction to Coach Sanat Martis's comments early on in the week, saying that he feels that Royals halves combination is where he's going to target. And Coach Dushant Taluke has said, well, if you think these halves aren't good enough, here's another pair for you. And this is going to be an interesting match for both the coaches as well. Radhika Hettiarachchi on the right, Dushant Taluke on the left. He's unbeaten this season, and he will hope that tag remains at the end of the 70 minutes as well. Here's Aiden Fernando, who has been outstanding for St. Peter's. He's one of those real dark horse players, Abdullah, in the sense that he doesn't go hunting for the ball but does a lot of work in the difficult places that people don't like to go.
Yes, as all good number 7s do.
Sanat Martis with his trusted assistant Rajiv Pereira even waved to the camera, Abdullah. Sanat Martis waving to the camera. He must be pretty relaxed. You don't see that often from him.
Yes, he almost had a smirk on his face as well, so probably very confident in his charges today.
Well, he's certainly is one who knows how to build the atmosphere. He's the Alex Ferguson-like character of this school's rugby coaching setup, Abdullah, and probably the Royal College teachers had Royal Rugby tags. And the referee Alexander making sure that nobody is allowed into the playing enclosure, and that's good to see. That nobody can come on, put him under any unnecessary pressure, put the assistant referees under any unnecessary pressure as well. Only the people permitted to be in the playing enclosure and in the technical zone, what you call the technical zone, are allowed to be there, which is the water carriers, the coaches, the physios, the doctors, and nobody else. So he's making sure that that is adhered to before we start, which is always a very good thing, even though it is the Royal College Sports Complex and it is pretty safe from encroachment. He's making sure that the people are not coming onto the ground. Mr. Dinka Piris, and he's the president of the Sri Lanka Schools Rugby Football Association, which has, the Sri Lanka Society for Rugby Football Referees, my apologies. And they have, of course, been in the limelight for the last couple of weekends, fortunately. Victims of an unacceptable assault a few weeks ago. And kicked off is this blockbuster clash between the two unbeaten teams. And immediately up with the tackle was Bhuvaneka Senanayaka. And the penalty comes, and a very early penalty for Royal, and you can see what that means to them because it's very close into the 22, Abdullah, and a kick into the corner. It's probably what I would have expected, but they're going for the points early doors.
Yes, well, points within the first 30 seconds will definitely give Royal the confidence and just calm those nerves. Have to say that this is absolutely the correct decision. What a wonderful start by Royal. Really good chase. Have a look at that once again. Nice hanging kick. Just giving the chasers enough time to put pressure. Probably needed to come up a bit and set up a ruck. But again, Buoneka Senanayake making that tackle. But unfortunately, Nabil Yahya, well, that was a bit of a late call, but eventually flags go up. So Royal do draw first blood. 3 points to 0.
Referee Aruna Santa had a look back at his assistant and they nodded to each other and put the flags up. It came a little late, but they just wanted to make sure. Let's watch it here. Aruna Santa by the near post where he needed to be. And the other assistant, Nuanta, on the other side looking straight into the sun, but they are nodding to each other, and it was good enough for them, and it's good enough for the scoreboard as well. So 3 points early doors. Amit Jayaveera, the man who's just come into the side. We talked about match practice, Abdullah, and you can see he was a little bit slow. He got a bit of a hospital pass, you have to say, but holding on to the ball and giving those points up.
It's some really good work by Buoneka Senanayake as well to chase and make that tackle.
He has to play for his mate who's injured, the other twin tower, and Dev Vijayawardena and Zulki Hamid don't like that very much, and nor should they, because I think...
Stop! Didn't you know you can get free delivery?
Some colour. Yes, referee Ravin Alexander Vishenka Silva, we've been talking a lot about him before kickoff. He's been among the top try scorers, but he was a little too overeager there. And he will go to the bin for 10 minutes. The Royal prop giving him a little ironic wave as he runs off. But if you're losing a player, this is probably the best time to lose them.
Well, Royal wouldn't have any complaints. 3 points up, ensuing kickoff. The key try scorer for St. Peter's has been sent to the sin bin.
Let's see if we can see that again. Vishenka Silva shaking his head, but I'm not sure that there's any debate about that. Let's have a look at the replay and see exactly what happened there. He was on the kick chase. Here's the kickoff from Raul. Just goes up in the air, waits till the last moment to go up in the air, takes him. And that was Fahad Nazar who went up in the air, and he jumped up just at the last moment, Abdullah, and that's smart play from Fahad.
Yes, very smart indeed. Vishenka also had to run around one of the Royal forwards, so probably unsighted as well. But a good result for Royal on the whole.
I think the colour of the card also, I don't think there can be any complaints about that, Abdullah. He came down safely and didn't land on his head. It's just a timing issue. And I thought that was well refereed by the referee and his assistants. Thiven puts Royal into touch, still on the 40-meter line in their own territory, and this is where the Royal line-out has faltered a little bit in the last couple of weeks, Abdullah. They're without their best exponent, Yahan Veerasurya. Buoneka Senanayake is back, and it'll be interesting to see how Naqib Mohammed goes today. Naqib with the first throw into the line-out, and Buoneka Senanayake, it's beautifully timed. And if they go to that combination, I think it will be very difficult to stop. Royal keep going. They know they're a man up, so they will grind away at the speed right defense, who managed to stop it once. Still going, the Royal Mall. They've made 15 meters and now they collapse. And the advantage is coming. Look to move it now. They know they're playing under advantage, and Thiven will pick up sweeping and give it into the hands of Amika Samarasinghe again. Still playing under advantage. Royal spinning away. This is Shyam, but the referee says no advantage coming, so we'll come back for the collapse small. So it's all Royal in the first 4 minutes.
It's a massive moral victory for Royal as well. St. Peter's probably would have worked on defending that rolling maul throughout the build-up to this game. But despite that, Royal showing brute strength and good technique to force that penalty, and that'll just give them so much of confidence, Shanaka, going into this game.
Interesting that they chose to maul it after a 4-man line-out as well, Abdullah. They've decided that they don't want the 7-man early doors. And they're happy to take on the first 4 of the Peters jumpers.
Well, that was an unfortunate error by Thiven, kicking it into the in-goal area. So resulting in a scrum from where that kick was taken. Missed opportunity, you'd have to say, for Royal.
Very much so. Coach Luke never betrays any emotions. He will be biting his fingernails, of course, until the last moment of this game. The first scrum of the game. First line out went decisively in Royal's favour, and the first scrum is well held. Dulaj Navodaya at the back to Salit, and smashing it up in midfield, this big centre combination for St. Peter's. Raul Peter puts the kick up. First real tester for Nabil Yahya. He's gone to the back. Royal forwards have to come around, and come around quickly. Thiven acting as scrum half. Looks like it's been stolen, and now St. Peter's dangerous with counter-attack ball. Stepping back in field was Yumit Chihara. This is Amit Jabira with the long ball out. Dulaj Navodaya in the tram lines. Can't find the pass. And he has been dragged into touch. Beautifully done by the Royal defence. No, he hasn't. Big defence from Royal in the centre of the field, but Aiden Fernando getting there to secure that ball nicely. St. Peter's diving on it. The shout of "Go Peters, go!" is coming up from the grandstand, as St. Peter's have great hands there to get the ball to the wings, but unfortunately for St. Peter's, that move ends with a defensive penalty being won by Royal.
Yes, some good desperate defense by Royal, but again St. Peter's showing how dangerous they can be of turnover possession. So Royal will need to be very accurate at the breakdown. Got to ensure that they have players to secure possession, because if possession is going to be turned over, the St. Peter's backs can prove very lethal.
So Thiven Pereira atoning for that last mistake, getting this kick into touch. Thought Dulaj Navodaya could probably have cut back into field a little bit. That's a lovely pass from Yumit Chihara, getting the ball out into the hands of Praneeth Silva. It was even better work from the defense there. It's Royal's ball in this line out. They've gone for the full complement. Buaneka Seranayaka again. But St. Peter's have managed to catch them behind the gain line. Picked up. It was off the foot, says referee Alexander. So this has been turned over by St. Peter's. 2 turnovers, and now they're looking to run. They've got some numbers. Yumit Chihara. Into the line is Pasindhu. Pasindhu dragged down, asking for a high tackle while he went to the floor. And referees aren't going to be amused by that kind of thing. Big defense from the Royal forwards once again. That was Thinet Gamage. Again flying out of the defensive line in the Royals' rush defense. Shyam that time. Aman rather it was that time. And hands too long over the ball in trying to reclaim that ruck. So the penalty again. So this time it's about the 4th penalty in favour of Royal College, and St. Peter's, if they don't stop giving away penalties, are going to have a long afternoon.
That's right. Unfortunate for St. Peter's. They were on the front foot. This time Pereira makes no mistake with touch. Sends it almost to the halfway mark.
Interesting that Thiven chose a spiral kick there.
It's from centre field as well, but struck it nicely.
Big Marika, the loose head prop, wearing number 1 but playing on the tight head side actually. They've gone for the 4-man again. St. Peter's trying to contest 7 style at number 1, but this time it's quickly off the top. Gamage powers into midfield, and that's the kick from Simak. Passing to Silva now. It's a dangerous set of 3 quarters to run to kick 2, and a bit of a 7 style palm off that time, but the Royal chase was brilliant.
Yes, it's a good kick by Simek, giving a lot of air, so allowing the chasers to get into position. It's a high-risk pass by the Peterite fullback, not finding its mark, so as a result, Royal getting a line out just about 10 meters, or rather 5 meters away from the 25. Just the tactical kicking, Shanaga, could be crucial, isn't it? And how teams cope with it under pressure.
Yes, that was a good 30-meter gain from that up and under, Abdullah, and that's why we call it tactical kicking, because it's not just giving the ball away. It's about trying to gain territory and getting the ball back as well. This is Big Peterite forward pack, probably up against the biggest forward pack in the competition. That was well sacked, and referee Alexander says absolutely no problem. Technically difficult skill to pull off, but St. Peter's have done that well. Royal have retained the ball though. Here they go off the back with the number 4 jersey of Pabasara Samarakon, the number 4 jersey that has been Yahan Veerasurya's for a few seasons now. St. Peter's competing at ruck time, not giving easy ball to the Royalists, but the Royal latch is brilliant. And again, the same penalty that he blew a moment ago.
As well, the way the referees are going off the hand, Shanaga, we've had this discussion before as well. It's going to be very hard for the offensive teams to secure possession at the breakdown.
Well, one good thing about it, Abdullah, is that they have been consistent. But unfortunately, they've been consistently blowing this penalty, which doesn't allow the attacking teams to get any momentum. So if the defending team doesn't contest a ruck, then the man going in there and not preventing any kind of competition for the ball, he should be allowed to just play on. But unfortunately for us, we haven't really seen a lot of attacking phases coming through in games where the referees have chosen to interpret it this way. Dulaj Navaudya throws to Aiden Fernando. Nicely taken at St. Peter's first line out. Looked like that ball might have been a little bit flat, but Royals' centre field defence is great. But that looks like Aman, who might have led with his head into that tackle. Medics on very, very quickly.
It's a very strong tackle as well, but probably got his head in the wrong area. Have a look at that once again. Just flew off his line. Very brave tackle, but it was, I think, head against the cod. Ayashiam, I think it was the Royal number 8.
I think it's Aman actually, Abdullah, the number 6, who went in for that tackle. The Royal Rugby Committee looking on with a little bit of concern. No, they can't afford to have any of these boys taken off. It looked like it might have been what they call a stinger, Abdullah. May not have been direct contact, but the compression of the neck is something that you have to be a little bit careful of. He's sitting up and he doesn't want to go off for sure, but this decision is entirely in the medic's hands. It is Shyam, Abdullah, you're right. This is the penalty that we spoke about a little earlier. Here's Gamage taking it off the back. Recycling that ball, Dulaj getting out of the way quickly. And here we are. That's Marika. And that's where the penalty comes for Shyam, just brushing the grass with his hands, and that is a harsh penalty, Abdullah, you have to say.
Yes, the purpose of awarding that penalty is not to penalize the player for touching the ground, but it's to prevent a fair competition for the ball, isn't it? And on that occasion, the Royal player who was tracking the ball carrier did make contact with the Peter Wright player first before going down. So it's a bit of a tough call, but as you said, the referees have been consistent in that area. What kind of impact it has on the overall game is another question. As you can see, a lot of anxious faces. Just 12 minutes into the game, Shanaka. Quite a few stoppages as well, isn't it? So both teams are struggling to find any fluency in their game so far.
Well, the intensity is there, Abdullah, and that's why we've seen these stoppages early on, because they're smashing into each other. And of course, those dressing room pep talks, the adrenaline will be really pumping as they come in. And it takes a good maybe 10-15 minutes for that adrenaline to cool off and for the boys to start playing with rationality rather than the adrenaline rush. And Shyam looks like he's staying on. Would have taken horse and cart to drag him off in this game.
So Roy will be pretty pleased that Shyam is back on his feet. He's been outstanding this entire season. Losing him at this stage would have been a huge blow for Royal.
Gallagher at the back of the scrum for St. Peter's. Rahul Peter, and they have figured out exactly how they're going to play this game, and that's a 50-22 outstanding kick from Rahul Peter. And Pathirana forgets for a moment that it was a 50-22, and that is really a fantastic kick from the Pete Wright number 10.
It's just wonderful technique, isn't it, Chanaki? The revolutions he got on the ball. Lovely spiral kick. Identified the space as well. Pathirana probably a tad too deep than what he needed to be. But some wonderful vision by the Peter Wright fly half.
He had plenty of space as well. The defense wasn't up to him very quickly, and Pathirana, instead of attacking the ball, made the cardinal error of letting it bounce. And Dulaj Navodaya now will throw into the first attacking line out that the Peter Wrights have. He managed to snaffle this one despite it being an untidy ball. And Aman with a good tackle behind the gain line. Picking and going, St. Peter's. Royal will defend this all day. This is their bread and butter. And lovely little dummy from Rahul Peter. Looks for support. There isn't any coming. But he picks up and goes because he wasn't held in the tackle. And now looking for Pasindu. Have to say that if St. Peter's are going to find those gaps, they want to have players on their shoulders, taken quickly by Gallagher. They want to play this game at pace, stepping in field, and that's the first try of the game. Praneeth Silva with the first Amana Bank try of the match. The referees will confer, but it looked like it was pretty good. He's confident, Praneeth Silva. And just the speed of the feet inside the 5-meter red zone. And the Royal forwards just couldn't keep up with the electric running of this Peter Wright winger.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Just taking the Royal 8 by surprise. Probably not expecting that quick tap to be taken. But just his presence of mind to identify where the space was, isn't it, Shanaka? In normal circumstances, he would have just run straight into the Royal forwards, but stepped sideways onto his off his left foot, finding a lot of space and going over for the first try of this game. So despite that Royal dominance for the first 14 minutes or so, it's the Peter Wrights who score first, and while they were down to 14 players as well, so they'll be pretty happy with the outcome from the time that yellow card was shown.
Rahul Peter, who managed to get them into that position, will try to put the icing on the cake that he baked with his right foot, with the icing also from the nozzle of the same foot. And at that time the flag stayed down, so it's 5 points to 3. St. Peter's have been restored to their full complement with top try scorer Vishenka Silva coming back in. Here's Gallagher, just feigns left. All the Royal forwards go left, and it's a massive step off the left foot, and then another massive step off the right foot, and that is an outstanding try from Gallagher. Looked like one of the Fijians that we're going to see a little bit later on in the day today, Abdullah, in that semi-final of the Olympics.
It's also just a small observation. All the Royal players just had their back to that opposition, isn't it? We're always told never to turn your back to the opposition. That's exactly what they did. And the Peter right winger making maximum use of that lapse of concentration by Royal to go over the Peter Wright's first try.
Yumi Chihara with a big kick to clear. That time St. Peter's dealing with the restart a much better way than they did previously. Simak Shafiq restored to the number 9 jersey today. And Nakib now. Royal don't need to panic, Abdullah. It's just very early in the game. It's just a 2-point difference. They're not chasing the game as yet. Just want to play the game in the same way that they have been so far, and realize that this is not the period of the game that they are dominant in. They usually come back into the game in the last half, so they've got to keep that in the back of their mind. Guaneka Senanayaka with the ball at the middle of the line out. Shyam with a little wraparound move to Gamage, the dangerous ball carrier. He's been among the try scorers, and that's a nice hit onto the ball from Thiven Pereira, but Shafiq, unfortunately for him, handled the ball in front after Thiven knocked it on. Ran onto it nicely, just a bit of inaccuracy.
The pass was a bit too hard as well, especially if you're running across, isn't it, Shanik? It's just got to be a small pop pass. Cannot hit it to your opponent. It's always very difficult to collect the ball from a player who is running across. So small errors creeping into Royals game. Just need to be a bit more accurate. Playing against quality opposition, as we have a look at that once again. Mohammed finding Buaneka from the lineouts. Royals lineouts has been relatively solid thus far. Again, Simek. Just a bit of an afterthought, isn't it, Shanaka? Don't think it was a rehearsed move. Thiven probably identifying a bit of space on the short side and then switching the side, but Simek needed to get the ball off the base.
Yes, it was a late call by the looks of things, and Aiden Fernando just not able to hold that ball. So it is knocked on, but Royal have it, so the referee will play advantage. Off the base, a clearance kick. And that's taken by Dulaj Navodya, the skipper tracking back. This is Yumet Chihara. Here's Vishenka Silva, back from his stint in the sin bin. Off the foot, so it will go out. That is the call. Pasindu Bandara. Looking dangerous. Dulaj Navodya, he's a small man for a number 8, but he's a burly lad, but he's very quick, Abdullah.
Looks like the assistant referee has picked up something from that previous breakdown. Fortunately not privy to the conversation between the ref and his assistant.
Well, for all we know, it could have been a discussion about how the short eats were before the game. But he will come back, and looks like both captains are getting the talking to, so it will be a general warning. Thiven and Dulaj will nod in agreement as long as the hands don't go into the pockets. I think the call was for Royal taking a player out beyond the breakdown, Abdullah. Could see that the crowd also reacted to that. Not a very serious issue, but the assistant referee needing to flag that one. It's the complete right section of the crowd on the left side of the grandstand as we look at it from our media box here. This is the line out. Aiden Fernando knocking that one on. Royal taking it, but it looked like there was a clear out here. Yes, that's the clear out. Whoa, that was... well, yes, I think the referee was correct to flag that one because it was not just beyond the ruck, it was also a lift and looked like it might have been a blunt spear. Straight over the top. The Royal forwards, they know what the rule is. You don't have to let it go in the maul, but Dulaj Navodaya, and was that 10 meters? No, it wasn't, says the referee, so might be looking at a yellow card here for one of the Royal players. Again, a little bit too over-eager. And it is a yellow card to Marika. So twice now, Abdullah, they've been caught napping in the red zone, not retreating the 5 meters and not being ready to defend that quick tap.
And it's obviously something that the Patriots have spoken about, isn't it, Shanaka? In those situations, not to worry too much about the set piece, try and up the ante, get the forwards, the Royal forwards rather, backpedaling as soon as possible, and so far they haven't been able to do that. Ajmal Marika, prop forward. It's interesting, Shanaka, his father, former Royal wing three-quarter, played with him, but the son donning the number 1 jersey, so it's an interesting situation.
Well, maybe the third generation might end up in the more glamorous positions, 8, 9 or 10, Abdullah.
So now it's a crucial line out for St. Peter's. Royal as well in terms of defending this.
It's a bit of a hold up in play, not sure what that was all about, but I think the referee might have given them a bit of a water break.
It's interesting that the Patriots have opted for a scrum from this situation. Probably look to either get the Patriots keeper Navodaya on the short side or just try and create a one-on-one situation between the Royal threes against the Patriot threes.
Well, I think it's a great call, Abdullah, because they've lost a prop, which means that they need to bring a prop off the bench and they will lose a third rower. So they have one less tackler in the lineup, which means that Dulaj Navodaya can run off the shoulder of Rahul Peter and just create those matchups. Gallagher comes back to the open side. It's untidy ball, but here's the try scorer who manages to clean that ball up. So good defense from Royal. Yumet Chihara with the little chip over the top. Is it going to bounce kindly? Yes, it is going to bounce kindly for Nazar. And was taken over. Nazar took it over. He didn't have the patience to wait for the ball to go over the line. So he carried it back, which means it's a 5-meter scrum. And maybe now after one rehearsal, they will get this scrum right.
Yes, again, some good vision by the Patriot fly half, identifying that the Royal defense had rushed up. Not the best of distributions.
That was Nabil Yahya who flew up to make that really important tackle. And Yumet Chihara who just put that ball onto the toe and just putting pressure on, keeping the pressure on Royal, grinding away. They know this will not be an easy try to score because Royal's defense is absolutely outstanding when it's at its best. Oh, this is an interesting tactic. Dulaj Navodaya puts the ball into the scrum. Such a versatile utility player, Navodaya. Yumet Chihara takes it to within 2 meters of the line. St. Peters are knocking on the door, but it looks like it's not rolling away is the call. Or rolling too many times, not letting the ball go is the call from referee Alexander. Rahul Peter just making too much of a mistake there. So St. Peter's discipline costing them close to the try line.
Yes, fortunate reprieve for Royal, you'd have to say. Pretty much under the pump. But the Pete right forward probably a little bit over eager to cross the line. Just not showing enough patience. Skipper Pereira finding touch, or rather Nabilia here. So it's last 10 minutes or so, Shanak, it's all been St. Peter's as we have a look at that once again.
They're looking for Yumit Chihara to take the defense on one-on-one. And I'm surprised that Dulaj Navodaya is not giving the ball to Gallagher to distribute. And just running on the inside and outside shoulders of Rahul Peter. Rolled one too many times with the ball in hand. Referee Alexander right on the spot. Here's Nakib to throw in. And that's overthrown, but it bounces kindly for Royal, which means that they will retrieve the ball. Athugala leaves it behind. Good work by Shyam to get over the gain line. Shafiq. Pasindu stepping off his right foot. Now finding a little bit of space. The ankle tap not doing well. This is a brilliant run by Pasindu. Looks in field. Manages to find Aiden Fernando, and now St. Peter's with the numbers. Still going. Gallagher looking for a willing runner. Here it is. They've got the numbers. Will he pass? Yes, he will. And just not enough defense from Nabil Yahya in the corner, and St. Peter's go for the try. It was end-to-end stuff. It's always dangerous to kick to Pasindu Bandar, and it looks like it's Yumit Chihara who has held the touchline, managed to step in, use his shoulder and use his strength to get in at the corner flag. Brilliant distribution from St. Peter's.
Yeah, what a wonderful run by the Peterite fullback as well. Pasindu Bandara made that try possible. So second Amana Bank try for St. Peter's. So Royal on notice. If they are kicking, they've just got to ensure that their chasers are on the spot, as we have a look at that once again.
Here's Gallagher running across. Long pass. It's not an accurate one, but doesn't matter because we've got the try scorer giving it off to the new try scorer, and it's another Amana Bank try for Yumit Chihara.
So even that kick by Simek Shanaka, it was a bit of an afterthought, isn't it? His first option was to try and look for the pass, and they probably didn't find the Royal skipper in place to collect it, so he was forced to put it to boot. So it was more of a hack than a planned execution.
Rahul Peter with another difficult angular conversion, and that's well short, goes across the face of the posts. So despite scoring 2 tries, St. Peter's only 1 score away. Here it is again. Gallagher spots that the Royal defence is in disarray. His path to MS Jayavira, and it was in the end it was Praneeth Silva who drew and passed, and still plenty of work to do for Yumit Chihara before he scored that Amana Bank try. Nabil Yahya with a despairing tackle. He's been in the wars, Yahya, already. Doing work on the defensive end as much as he does on the offensive end. Rahul Peter needs to find someone to clear for him. Yumit Chihara will step into that role. Bangs it down to Nabil Yahya with the outrageous dummy. Going towards the touchline though, and his forwards have managed to come back and help him out. Bhuvaneka Senanayake with his first real carry of the match. On the 40-meter line, Royal haven't had much territory in the last few minutes, and they need to score before half-time to make sure that this lead is not a decisive one for St. Peter's. Good counter-rucking by Nazar there in the number 14 jersey. Not often wingers like to get involved in that heavy stuff, but these Royal wingers will go looking for work. Inaccurate pass that time. Shyam does well to cut back into the field of play. He's such a busy player. Royal isolated that time. The gang tackle from St. Peter's. They're not committing to the breakdown. They're happy to just make sure that Royal are going behind the gain line. Here's the danger man. Created 1 try. Can he create another pass into Bandara? Can he go all the way? It looks like he's got 20 meters to make, and the Desperate ankle tap is no good. Pasindu Bandara has cut Royal open not once but twice for the third Amana Bank try of this half. And St. Peter's are running right here at the complex.
Wonderful bit of work by the Peterite fullback. It's just not the run, Shanak. If you look at his positional play, how well he read that kick. He was out of position, but he anticipated and he took off, anticipating where the ball was going to go. Timed it brilliantly to collect the ball on the run, and he was in full swing to make that run. And again, Royals chasers, you'd have to question. Just look how well he anticipated that kick. And once he got a bit of space, there was no stopping him. Wonderful run. Tiven Pereira desperately lunging in, but unfortunately, Bandara showing a clean pair of heels to the Royal defense and notching up St. Peter's third Amana Bank try.
We have to say, if we can watch that again, Nazar retreated, Abdullah, and he didn't really make an attempt to tackle Pasindu before he got full speed up. Looked like that went just inside the right hand upright.
Yes, I think he was expecting Pasindu to make the pass, isn't it, Shanaka? That's why he was just holding his line. But Bandara had other ideas.
Well, if we can look at that again, Abdullah, you'll see that Pasindu almost did make the pass, but suddenly he found the ball got stuck under his arm and he couldn't make the pass. So it was an unwitting dummy almost that Nazar and the rest of the Royal cover defense bought, and Tiven Pereira coming across just couldn't get a hand on the ankle in time to make a desperate tackle. And here's a mistake from Pereira, and Royal will now flood forward. They know that they will now need to score next to make sure they stay in this game. Here's Samarakon, Shafiq carrying strongly. St. Peter's counter-rucking strongly as well in the 22 meters. And that strong defense from the Peterites. Straight off the feet is the call, and that's another one of those penalties that we've been talking about, Abdullah.
It's unfortunate. Royal had the penalty advantage, but referee probably felt that the advantage is over, so the Peterites take a quick tap. And this time Royal have done brilliantly well. And this time they take a quick tap of their own. Patirana takes a quick tap. Referees deem that the players have, Peterite players have got back 10.
This is Patirana showing his 7 skills. Here's Royal now with Yahya running a nice line. And Shyam, who hangs out in the tram lines, cutting back infield and making it available. Real fierce competition at the breakdown when St. Peter's choose to engage. Yes, Samarakon, big second row forward, bustling it up. Looked like he might have lost it on the floor, and here's space now opening up for Umit Shihara, cutting infield, and Nazar once again didn't have a little bit of space, and an inside-out move from Vishenka Silva. That's his 12th try. And the 4th Amana Bank try, and the bonus point Amana Bank try for St. Peter's. And you can see why Sarat Martis was happy to wave at the camera before the start of this game, Abdullah, because maybe he knew that this was how things were going to turn out.
Yes, just the one-on-one game, isn't it, Shanaka? This Peterite three quarters are absolute class, you'd have to say. The Royal defense just hasn't been able to to cope with the individual brilliance of the St. Peter's back three. And again, it came off turnover position, isn't it? And running against unstructured defense, that's where this Peterite team is going to thrive. And on more than a couple of occasions, that's just been the case. And just like that, St. Peter's have widened their lead, and Royal with everything to do.
Another conceding of the ball at the breakdown, And it's that lovely inside-out step, isn't it, Abdullah? Vishenka Silva stepping back in, standing Pathirana up there. And by the time he'd stepped back out, it was just his studs to watch as they flew down towards the try line.
Well, you can perfectly understand why he's the top try scorer of this league, and comfortably so as well. Wonderful bit of individual skill. Conversion attempt by Chiara is successful. So everything going towards the Peter Wright's way.
It's Rahul Peter actually with that conversion. And boy, wouldn't we like to see some of these lads in the Sri Lanka jersey, Abdullah. If the men in the boardrooms can get things right, there certainly are players who want to light up the Asian circuit at least.
Absolutely. Wonderful bit of individual skills by these the Peter Wright three quarters. Royal just haven't been accurate enough, isn't it, Shanaka, in this half? And Peter Wright three quarters have been brilliant, especially the back three, isn't it? Proved to be very dangerous from receiving the kicks as well as from turnover possession.
Well, Royal will have to have a look at their tactics at half-time, that's for sure. Are they going to keep kicking to this dangerous back three, or are they going to carry it forward? Yeah, goes into the 22, and the left foot of Pathirana is called on for the first time this afternoon. And it looks like it might be half-time. Yes, it is half-time. 24 points to 3. We were expecting a blockbuster. We've got one, Abdullah, but largely because of the outstanding work of this Peter Wright backs. But we don't have a close game on the scoreboard. But given the way this Royal team is known to come back into games, I think we can really expect them to come roaring back at half-time.
Yes, but Royal will definitely have their work cut out in the second half. The Royal three quarters, though, Shanaka, just haven't looked comfortable with ball in hand, isn't it? They have had opportunities, but the passes just haven't gone to hand. They haven't been able to run onto the ball. They've been taking the ball standing, just not finding that same fluency that the Peter Wright backs have.
For generations, Maliban Savoury Biscuits have been the perfect companion for gatherings, bringing friends and families together to celebrate cheerful moments, just like for today's match. Maliban Crisco Cheese Bits, Chick Bits and Snackers, and the variety of Maliban Savoury Biscuits, which suits everyone's taste. So even if you're at home watching the match or cheering right here, grab a pack and share the joy of the game with Maliban Savoury. We'll be back after the break.
Don't go away, the action's just begun.
Seat Car Radials. The road is yours.
Real energy for real life. Ride.
Safari and Yale, Ali Balasuate, and selfie Gahamuare Majang, Kuredakune Kohegia, trip one like a double win. Put to me, Rasaka Hadanati, Natakashia, Kamuda Machang, Prima, Kot to me, Fantamai.
එක පැත්තකින් වාගෙනදී තව පැත්තකින් මතුවෙනවා. මේ ටයිල් එක බෑ. දෙක තුනක් කැඩිලත් එක්ක.
චොමරි අක්කා. ජීවිත කාලය පුරාම අල්ලන් ඉන්න නම් ටයිල් අල්ලන්න ඕන ස්විස්ටෙක් ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව්.
ස්විස්ටෙක් ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් අල්ලන්න හොඳම කෙනා.
කොහෙන් හරි කමන්නේ ෆොටෝ එක තිබ්බනම් මට මේ බිත්තිය කැත වහගන්න තිබ්බා.
චොමරි අක්කා.
බිත්තියට ස්විස්ටෙක් ස්කිම් කෝඩ් ගාලා ෆිනිෂ් කළා නම් ඔය ප්‍රශ්න මුකුත් නැහැ.
ස්විස්ටෙක් ස්කිම් කෝඩ් ෆිනිෂ් එකට හොඳම කෙනා.
Surf Excel පළමු සේදුමෙන් ඉතා පහසුවෙන් තද පැල්ලම් ඉවත් කරන කම්ෆර්ට් ප්‍රීමියම් සුවඳ සමගින් දැන් රුපියල් 540කට පමණයි.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
නිකම් බොරුවට රිස්ක් එකක් ගන්නේ ඇයි? NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Gold hair and body wash shaker. Seat Car Radiance. The road is yours. Seat Car Radiance. The road is yours.
It is my vision that wakes me up, not my alarm. I make mistakes, but I will never be defeated.
My biggest competitor is myself.
Vibe account from Commercial Bank for the youth who think beyond limits.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
Real energy for real life. Ride.
Gold hair and body wash shaker.
NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Surf Excel පළමු සේදුමෙන් ඉතා පහසුවෙන් තද පැල්ලම් ඉවත් කරන කම්ෆර්ට් ප්‍රීමියම් සුවඳ සමගින් දැන් රුපියල් 540කට පමණයි.
Gold hair and body wash shaker. Seat Car Radiance. The road is yours.
නිකම් බොරුවට රිස්ක් එකක් ගන්නේ ඇයි? NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
නිකම් බොරුවට රිස්ක් එකක් ගන්නේ ඇයි? NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff. හැම සිතක්ම පිපිදේ, රස lemon රසයේ, ජීවිතයම මිහිරයි. Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, chill when lemon.
NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න. හැමදේම අතළඟ තියෙද්දි දුක් විඳින්නේ ඇයි?
Stop! Didn't you know you can get free delivery with Uber One? Wait, really? Yes, you can get unlimited free delivery on eligible orders with Uber Eats. Order this, and that, even groceries. You can also get 5% back in Uber credits on rides. Priority service exclusively with our top-rated drivers. And with Uber Eats, expect your order to arrive on time, every time. With just a few taps, unlock exclusive perks and savings. Plus enjoy your first month free. Sign up for Uber One now.
Get keys to your wheels and experience people-friendly vehicle leasing with Amana Bank. Enjoy the lowest monthly installment and flexible financing up to 7 years. Apply online at www.amanabank.lk.
Amana Bank. It's your bank.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Get keys to your wheels and experience people-friendly vehicle leasing with Amana Bank. Enjoy the lowest monthly installment and flexible financing up to 7 years. Apply online at www.amanabank.lk.
Amana Bank. It's your bank.
හැමදේම අතළඟ තියෙද්දි දුක් විඳින්නේ ඇයි?
Gold hair and body wash shaker.
Don't go away, the action's just begun.
Welcome back to the Royal College Sports Complex. As the home crowd has gone a little quiet here at halftime, we expected an absolutely outstanding game, but what we have seen is some outstanding running from the Peterite back three, which has resulted in 4 Amana Bank tries early on in the first half. Royal scored first with this penalty. Amit Javira taking a difficult pass and having to hold on to the ball. And within the first 30 seconds, Royal had knocked 3 points over, courtesy of the boot of Nabil Yahya. A late flag, but still was the correct one. And here's Praneeth with that real jinxing run. Praneeth Silva dotting the first try down, and he had a try assist in the next half as well, in the next try as well, drawing and passing, and Yumit Chihara did wonderfully well in the tackle. Nabil Yahya not able to keep him out, and the corner flag, and this was the first moment of brilliance from Pasindu Bandara. So he almost passed, just held on to the ball there, and Nazar buying that inadvertent dummy, and beautifully done from the young fullback. Conversion was good from Rahul Peter, and then this was a bit of brilliance from Vishankar Silva, the top try scorer of the season, extending his lead at the top, little weaving inside out run, and Pathirana just couldn't even lay a hand on him. You can see him urging the Peterite crowd on, and Yumit Chihara's conversion was also good from the left-hand touchline, and it was a highlight reel that Royal would rather not see again, Abdullah.
Oh, absolutely, Shanaga. That last 15 minutes, it was just a complete display by the Peterite back three, isn't it? Wonderful footwork, wonderful running skills, and the Royal defense just absolutely had no answer whatsoever. So St. Peter's off to a very commanding 24 points to 3, and Royal will need a superhuman effort to get back from where they are.
You have to wonder about the preparation as well for this game, Abdullah. Yes, Yahan Veerasurya was red carded last week. There was a midweek disciplinary hearing, and we all knew that he was probably going to be not part of the game. But then we heard news that there was still an appeal process that went through, and there was some hope that he might play this game. But then that keeps the players in some kind of a suspense. It doesn't allow you to make up your mind that, right, we've lost Yahan, we need to play better, which is exactly what they did when they lost him against St. Joseph's in the second half. They can play well without him, and you have to wonder whether just is trying to get one of your key players back into the lineup has been counterproductive for Royal.
So as you get ready for the kickoff, well, it shouldn't have if it's the case. Player that just got to leave it to the administration and let the players do their job, as Yahya makes an initial break, takes play outside the 22. Again, Royal forwards just trying to create a couple of phases, not where they want to be playing this game. Eventually the ball going to Tiven Pereira. Finds a good touch this time. Sends play almost towards the halfway mark.
Looks like they have made a change, Abdullah. Idris Farooq coming in to the number 10 jersey. I thought he had a decent game against St. Joseph's despite being a little inexperienced, and it looks like Tiven has moved back to that number 13 position. Nabil Yahya has gone off to the wing. Pathirana remains at fullback. And we'll tell you who's at number 12 in a moment. Dulaj Navodya finds Aiden Fernando. It's not a great pass. And it's a bit of a scoop up, which is very risky from Yumit Chihara, but that's the way he plays. And Royal now pile on the pressure. But St. Peters have got back quickly. And Yumit Chihara in the first receiver position managed to find a long touch finder. Hacks it a good 40 meters.
Yes, well, we were talking at the start of the game. It was an interesting call to bring Thiven Pereira back to that number 10 position. Farooq had started most of the games in that fly half number 10 jersey, but Royal coaching staff opting for a bit of experience in the 9-10 combination for this game.
So they've brought two players on actually. They've brought Didula Jayasuriya and Idris Farooq on. Didula moves into the number 12 position. So we talked about positional changes at the start of the game, Abdullah, but now the middle of the game also we're seeing that. This is a great drive by Royal. This is their trademark. St. Peters do well to try and hold on to it. It's the first stop, says referee Alexander, which means that Royal will have to play this one. In fact, there's a third change. They've changed the halves combination completely. Shafiq has gone off. And here's a Nabil Yahya. Leave it to me, he would have told his lads at the dressing room. And here's Tinet Gamage. They want the ball in his hands much more often than he had in the first half. See if Royal can mount the mother of all comebacks here. Farooq. Thiven. Here's Didula Jayasuriya cutting back infield. Had a wonderful 7th season, Jayasuriya. Haven't seen him starting too often in this 15s format. This is good continuity from Royal. Ball went backwards. A bit of space, and that time it was Farooq who hit the line. Bit of a juggle, but Gamage manages to hold on. Aman is with him, and yes, holding on is the call. It's good defense there. Aman's rucking was not as accurate as it should have been.
Yes, well, one thing what is pretty evident, Shanaka, is you just take the three-quarter lines of both teams. Royal just don't seem to have that fluency, that nip that the Peterite backs do have. They just seem to be relying on their forwards to make those inroads and get them over the gain line. But when you're up against a quality team that the St. Peters is, that's just not good enough, isn't it? You've just got to ensure that when you get those opportunities, your backs have to be ready to take those, and that's just not been the case from Royal's point of view.
Well, just a little bit of a trip from the support player, Nakib, that time. Didn't allow him to get over the ball in time. And yes, Abdullah, I completely agree, because it's the combinations as well, isn't it? Because these players are playing in new positions. They were moving from 13 to 10. It's a big switch because they have very, very different roles, 10 and 13. Both very responsible roles in totally different ways. Royal at the front of the line out. Nakib. Oh, that's not straight is the call. They're taken or closing the gap, or sure exactly what that was. Maybe he dummied the throw. But Royal need to realize that, yes, it is 3 scores away, but they need to get one first.
Yes, you just cannot look too far ahead, isn't it, Shanaga? It's a mountain to climb, but as you said, one step at a time. Got to ensure that they score next. Royal have also made a substitution at scrum half. It's like Savisha Fernando has come in place of Simak.
So Savista will feed. And pair off with Farooq, who has been playing with Farooq. Decent distribution from him. A nice left-footed grubber from Pathirana. This is what we expected to see from Royal, playing that territorial game, but full of confidence. Pasindu Bandara runs this one across, and that's a brilliant tackle made by Buwanega Senanayaka, who did all the chasing there. And he's managed to win the ball back as well, and looks like it will be a penalty for Royal. Look to take it quickly. Here's the Saspatirana, gets a lovely ball away. Didula Jayasuriya just can't hold on though. Not 10 is the call, so they will come back for the penalty again.
Yes, that was a good kick and a much better chase as well by the Royal 15-14 combination. This time Pasindu Bandara not being able to make the inroads, simply that because he did not have as much pace as he would have liked.
St. Peter's in the first half really exploiting that time when there was a third rower off for Royal. Some lovely tackle. That time it was Januka Ranasinghe who was caught in possession. Buwanega Senanayaka really smashing that ruck, and coming through was Jehan Veerabangsa from an offside position.
Yes, wonderful bit of counter-rucking by the Royal forwards as well.
Buwanega Senanayaka will be the target here. And that's sacked nicely. Shyam takes it in. Here's Farooq taking the ball from Savista. Thiven Perera with a lovely cutout pass. But good defense by Pasindu Bandara as well. Let's see what the referee says here. Has a couple of options, I think, of penalties. Yes. So he'll go back for Nabil Yahya. Seems to disagree. He wants the one on the left-hand side.
From Royal's point of view, Buwanega Senanayaka has had a big game, isn't it, Shanak? He's been brilliant in the line-out today. It's probably the only part of the facet of the game where Royal have shaded St. Peter's. But other than that, you'd have to say it's been St. Peter's all the way.
Yeah, he is taking it and getting sacked. And Royal do well to still control that ball though. Shyam did really well here, along with Nakib. Here's a lovely cutout pass from Thiven Perera. Royal winning that line out again. This time they look like they want to drive their way to the line. Ball was a little exposed there, so it'll be interesting to see what St. Peter's have done here. They're piling in. They think that they have got it. Yes. And it's a defensive win for St. Peter's. Amit Javira walking in to tell the Royal forwards what he thought of that bit of mauling.
This is interesting tactic by Royal. They've shortened the line out, isn't it, Shanak? Just so close to the line. Not quite understanding that tactic. You'd want your 8 in that particular position. You do have an advantage in that area. You've just got to make it count by having your entire pack at the point. Royal shortening the line out, but just not being able to control that maul, and St. Peter's did brilliantly well to thwart it.
St. Peter's front 5 has competed at the breakdown. Royal haven't been able to really exert dominance at scrum time, which they would want to do here. Try and win at least a free kick so they can get the ball back. Referee Alexander not allowing the scrum to set before he has a word. Dulaj Navodya. Plenty to say from the back of that scrum. It's nothing more annoying when you're looking at a deficit on the scoreboard than a mouthy number 8, Abdullah. Galage. Right on the deadline. Yumit Chihara under enormous pressure, and that's a wonderful touch finder from the Peters centre.
Absolute class. Not much of an angle to work with. Under tremendous pressure, and made that connection driving play towards the 40-meter mark. And those are the kind of situations where you could just sense Royal dropping their heads, isn't it? Having come so close, not being able to get the points in their favor. Royal just need to keep their heads up, play till the very end.
Well, they've done better in the first 10 minutes of this game, Abdullah. Since the replacements came on, they've held on to the ball even though they haven't been able to convert it into pressure. Pathirana dummies, cuts back onto the weak shoulder, but the tackle is made. Oh, and that's a little bit of inaccurate play once again from Royal. That's unfortunate. They've had a few of these errors that haven't really helped their cause.
Because I just don't understand why the Royal forwards are playing with so much depth, isn't it? If they're going for a hit and trying to get over the gain line, they've got to take the ball much more shallow. They're virtually taking the ball where your normal fly half and first centre would take it. So just those little tactical changes need to be looked at.
And they've got some really good ball runners, Abdullah. They've got Bhuvaneka Senanayaka, they've got Shyam, and they've got the two props as well. So ball is just taking a little too long to get to that pod of forwards in midfield. Farooq is a good little player. It's a little bit of pleasantries exchanged by the front rowers, and I think the referee has come across. This looks like it's going to be well refereed by referee Alexander, just having a bit of a word to Ranidhu Ridmal and Marika. Ranidhu Ridmal extending his hand, which is ignored by Marika, and Ranidhu Ridmal doesn't like that. Coach Leuke will know that he will need to inject something. He's shown his hand, hasn't he, Abdullah? He's played his cards at halftime and said, look, this is the three players that I want to come in and make a change. He's realized that there's been a problem in the first half, and he's tried to solve the problem in the best way he knows how. Now it's up to the players to deliver.
Absolutely. So again, Ajmal and Ranidhu just asking some questions. Interesting to know what that conversation would be.
Well, I'm sure they'll continue it after the game. That's well dealt with in the end by Pathirana, who is a really interesting player. Just hasn't had enough good ball to mount anything from the back for Royal. And again, Abdullah, as you said, those Royal big ball carriers standing very deep. Here's Farooq with the big up and under. The chase is good, but in the end it falls into the hands of the danger man, Yumit Chihara. Here's Vishenka Silva. Royal snaffle this one as Vishenka was isolated.
Yes, Royal a bit lucky. That was again a big hack downfield, but Chihara probably running across a bit too much and trying to offload the ball. As you can see, the principal of Royal College, some senior staff members, probably not very pleased with how things have gone thus far. So have a look at that once again. It's a good old hack, isn't it, Chanaka? Not intending to go where it did. Chihara just looking for options, but running across a bit too much, you'd feel, and forcing the pass, which resulted in that forward pass.
Yeah, it's an area of his game he needs to improve, Yumit Chihara, but there's so many facets of his game that are still very polished. He's a sevens player at heart, but some great individual skills that if he just manages to straighten the line a bit more, he will be an outstanding number 13 going forward. Big future for the boy. And here's Royal moving the ball a little bit more speedily. Shyam. He won't die wondering, Shyam, but that's holding on every day of the week. Dulaj Navodya and Ayash Shyam, the two number 8s going at each other.
This again, Royal taking the ball with a lot of depth, isn't it, Chanaka? Forwards have to be much more tight. And also it's interesting that they're spraying the ball really wide and creating the breakdown at either end. which is making their forwards run much more as well. And Peterites are very comfortable in defending in those channels. So tactically as well, you have to question whether it's the best available options. So have a look at that once again. Royal pause, not driving through that ruck, isn't it? Just coming and spotting there. Because Royals number 6, Juvindu Ethugala, probably a bit guilty on that occasion.
The problem is, Abdullah, that Royal have seemed to want to play at the same pace as St. Peter's. They've drawn them in to playing a fast, loose game, which is something that they would love to do. And Royal haven't had the maturity to pull back, especially in that first few minutes, to pull back and say, okay, we're not coming into this battle with you. We're not going to roll around and run the ball with this kind of pace. We're going to play our game. Into the front of the line out, but the referee wants that redone because it was quite untidy. Bhuvaneka Senanayake just all over Pete right receiver there. Such a difficult player to shake. Galage. Lovely little chip over the top. It's finds some space and it's volleyed by Pathirana. There's a big lift from Samarasinghe, and looks like there might be another try for Vishenka Silva here. It's going all the way around under the posts. Everyone was distracted by that big lift and spear, but it's 5 tries now, and Vishenka Silva keeps totting them up. It's another Amana Bank try.
Yes, when it already came with that ugly hack by the Royal fullback, Yuan Pathirana, not quite sure what he was thinking. They needed to collect the ball. And the Pete right back three once again coming into full motion. And Vishenka Pereira, just like a shadow session rally, Shanaka, and that was a very dangerous tackle, you'd have to say, by Royals Amika Samarasinghe. But Vishenka Pereira having a field there, and it's just Vishenka Silva rather having a field there and just adding to his try tally as well. And Samarasinghe very correctly being sent to the sin bin. And things are just going from bad to worse for Royal, we'll have to say.
Well, after that was a great volley we would have seen at the Euro 2024 championships, but as soon as he volleyed it, you put your head in your hands because you know how dangerous those kicks, those unstructured, ill-thought-out kicks can be against a running side like St. Peter's, and you have to say that Royal have got their kicking game all wrong today.
Well, Shana, that was just a hack, wasn't it? You cannot even call it a kick. Pretty irresponsible by the Royal fullback, you'd have to say. Needed to collect that ball, kick it, just hacked it in the center of the field. Just shows the amount of pressure this Royal team is under at the moment. And you have to give a lot of credit to the Peterites, the way they have executed, especially in loose play, isn't it? Their back three have taken every opportunity that has come their way. And Royal have just played into that as well.
Yes, they certainly haven't been wasteful. And the kickoff beats everybody into touch. And that man on your screen a few moments earlier, Banu Kanane, former Peterite himself, assisting. He was someone that Coach Martis mentioned by name as doing a great job with these backs. Amika Samarasinghe pulled out of the tackle, but not in time. He lifted Praneet Silva rather up and dropped him a little dangerously. So Royal 2 yellow cards. Bhuvaneka. Here's Yahya. Decides that he will have to drag this team by the scruff of its neck. Here's Shyam. Here's Gamage. Haven't really seen him given much space today to do He's rampaging best. This is better from Royal. Here's Farooq. Big tackle that time in midfield and coming back through Savista Fernando to the open side. Royal forwards now don't want to be embarrassed. The ball has moved a lot quicker since Savista Fernando came on, and Farooq now finds his way into the 22, the gangly fly half. Yahya, long ball out. There's 3-on-2 over here, but the touchline will prevent Royal going wide. Here's Nakib. New man onto the park is Akira Yatawara. Aman. Kamage runs onto it with a head of steam. This is what we like to see from Kamage. Royal now, Yahya stepping back. In fact, it's and it's a try for Patirana, the first Amana Bank try for Royal College. That was much better from the Royalists. They kept the ball, and eventually found the hole in the Pete Wright defence.
Yes, wonderful control by the Royal forwards and three quarters. So all started from that break by Farooq, isn't it, Shanaka? Managed to get over that first line of defence, and from that point onwards, the Peter Wright defence was constantly on the back foot. You just have to wonder whether that try has just come a bit too late. Just that little bit of respectability, if at all, for all, as we have a look at that once again. Patirana just warding off with not much to do to go over for Royal's first Amana back try.
Vishwamitra Jayasinghe reading the riot act to the boys in that huddle, saying that there is 15 minutes left, Abdullah, and if they play like that, there's a couple more tries in this Royal team. Suddenly, if the pressure tries to build, if there is a yellow card for St. Peter's, player goes off, there's a lot that could happen. Nabil Yahya instrumental in that build-up play. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Nabil Yahya saying we've got 10 points, guys, need 20 more. Seen a few things happen in this rugby season, Abdullah, with conversions. Bulat Singalage got one in off the crossbar, and this time Yahya gets one in off both uprights. That's outstanding stuff. It's going to be a what happened next question at Question of Sport. Yuan Patirana with the first Amana Bank try for Royal College. Haven't really seen him at his best today. We have seen his opposite number being brilliant though. Just hope that he gets an opportunity to show us what he can do, Yuan Patirana. Rahul Peter, the son of Colin Denish, Abdullah, who played many years for the Peterson's Club and of course St. Peter's, and has chosen to name his son after his club and school, Rahul Peter. Farooq. Royal know that they need to run. It's another left-footed grubber from Patirana. Finds the touchline, but gives the ball back.
Just got to admire the individual brilliance of this Peter Wright back three, isn't it, Shanak? It's just that period of play before half-time, that 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so, where they just turned this game on its head, and you always knew that it was going to be an uphill task for Royal to come back from then. Bandara, Silva, absolutely brilliant.
And we spoke about it when it happened, Abdullah, but when the penalty was given and Marika was sent to the sin bin, St. Peter's immediately asked for the scrum, sent one of the Royal flankers to the bin. And since then, with Royal, one of those defenders down, and those flankers are key to the way Royal play their game, they managed to really exploit the holes in the defense. Ranasinghe trundling it forward. Now St. Peter's will be happy to run at this tired Royal forward pack. Haven't said that often this season because they're a well-conditioned forward pack. Here's Yumit Chihara. Vishenka Silva stepping in, has the presence of mind to pick the ball up and lay it back without conceding the penalty. Peter hasn't been shy despite being a small man. Smashed in the tackle is Jahan Veerabangsa by his opposite number, Gamage, who really gets through a mountain of work for a loose head prop. Galage. Little chip through for Vishenka Silva, but well covered by Didulo Jayasuriya in the end. Here's Gamage. Gets the ball in the 5 meters, but on the wrong end of the pitch for him. And in the end, Thiven Lakdev has to smash this one into touch.
Yes, I think Pete Rice will be pretty pleased with that outcome. A line out just about 10 meters away from the try line.
Well, there's some tired legs on the park, Abdullah. It's been a pretty intense game. 31-10 doesn't really show you how fiercely Royal have competed this match. And I think there's still a couple of scores left given the way that these defenses are going to be heaving.
Yes, I think at the breakdown, you'd have to say that it's been even Stevens to a great extent, but it's just at the back is Nitshanagar. That's where the difference between both teams have been. And the difference is glaring as well.
I think the St. Peter's backs will put a lot of school teams to shame, and looks like there's a penalty. Yes, there was a knock forward. They played the ball in front. Taken quickly. Running from their 22. This is a good thing to do, but you have to have the confidence to do it. Patirana dragged down just before he's allowed out of that 22-meter area. Slow from Royal. Really need to find that zip in the passing. And Farooq now will continue to run. Bhuvanega Senanayaka hasn't had a lot of carrying to do today. Here's Farooq. It's good feet. But smashed back in the tackle by Revon Pereira. That was a bit of a somersault out of the tackle which could have ended badly, and here's Patirana now. Shows the ball in field, and now a little bit of space opening up for Jayasuriya. This is better from Royal, but St. Peter's looked like they might have stolen that, but it's come back on the Royal side. Here's Yatavara, the big replacement prop. Savista. It's stand and pass for Royal at the moment, and they're going backwards at a rate of knots. Disas Patirana continues to put that leg drive to good use. Nakib. Savista, great counter up by Royal that time, and here's Yumit Chihara, but referee says no. They've gone a little too far with the hands, and again referee Alexander very correctly taking St. Peter's 10 meters back because Yumit Chihara didn't release that ball. Here's Gamage. Farooq now. Jayasuriya. Missed tackle on Nakib, which means that he can take it into the 22. Cutting back into the field of play was Farooq. There's players all over the floor now. There's some real tired legs here. I'm not sure what that kick was for. Thive and Pereira had no options, but I think he wanted the penalty advantage to end.
Yes, Royal just upping the ante, but I'd have to say Shanaka, touch too late. It's just that period just before halftime, isn't it? We just took the game away from Royal. Royal trying to inch back into this game, but they just don't seem to have the players out wide to bridge such a big gap, isn't it, Shanik? If it's a close game, probably have the confidence of doing something, but 21 points, it's 3 converted tries, but Royal three quarters have never quite looked threatening.
Well, they've certainly improved since Farooq came on. St. Peters have taken their foot off the gas. Even Pereira being offered his choice of penalties. Yellow card being shown, not sure exactly what that conversation was, but it's Januka Ranasinghe, the hooker, that goes to the bin. He's had a good game so far, but that's his last contribution because he has only 8 minutes left on this game, so he won't be back. We'll have to think that Royal now will be able to drive themselves over the line. And that's a tackle off the ball by Januka Ranasinghe. And that's why there were players all over the floor.
That was well spotted by the assistant review, you'd have to say, is Nishanaka. Don't think referee Alexander picked it up.
They've done a good job today, haven't they, Abdullah? The assistants especially. They've come through and given information when it was required.
Absolutely.
Royal crowd still finding it within themselves to have a wave at the camera. Time is off, but now it will be on as Nakib throws in. He's played the whole game, Nakib Mohammed. St. Peters driving this one back initially, but now Royal get the move on. It's pulled back. Royal have the advantage. Stepping in is Farooq. Farooq will just trying to reach for the line. He's dragged down inches short. Gallagher with the important tackle there, and it looks like it might be Yatavara who scores, but he too rolls one time more than he should. Collapsing is the call from the referee. Now Royal inches short of the line, and looks like he's gotten over. No, they've put it back. Off the boot, says referee Alexander. Marika for the line. Shyam for the line, in fact. Offside is the call, so Royal will get another crack. Here's space opening up out wide. Didula Jayasuriya plays a bit of basketball there. He's not had the best season. He's been preferred to his starting position, and that just sums up Royal's evening.
Yes, it just sums up Royal's back play as well, isn't it? Just no fluency whatsoever. And you contrast that with how the Pete right backs have performed, Shanaka, today, and that probably is the reflection of the scoreline, you'd have to say. Royal forwards' effort, I don't think you can question, but three quarters just haven't been able to find that cohesiveness. 2-on-1 situation. Jayasuriya coming off the bench. just taking his eyes off the ball, resulting in that knock on.
Few more changes to come. 5 minutes left. Pete Wright front row is really enjoying themselves, Abdullah. Dialog Navodaya has gone into the front row and he's still having a go. Galage. Big kick from Rahul Peter, sends it right onto the roof of the Sports Complex grandstand. It's a gold mine for rugby balls. More substitutions. He's running the Ridmal. He's had a very good game today. Hasn't had to carry the ball much because the outside backs have done their job. And onto the pitch also is Hiruka Jayadinu for Royal in the number 24 jersey. We have to think about a player of the game as well, Abdullah. As Bhuvaneka Senanayaka drags this one down, but it's a powerful drive from St. Peter's in defense. Nakib. Savista. Here's Farooq, shows and goes. It's come backwards, so Jayanindu can run this one forward. Savista looks both ways, and this is the sign of the fluency you mentioned, Abdullah. He's got to look for his options. He doesn't know where they are instinctively. Another penalty, so someone may go to the bin soon, and this Patirana is over for the try. Scored last week against St. Joseph, scored this week against St. Peter's, and the Royalists have something to cheer about.
Yes, consolation try for Royal. Patirana having the presence of the mind to take a quick tap, using his bulk to good effect to dive over for Royal's second try. Amana Bank try by Dasis Patirana, just adding a little bit of respectability to the scoreline. Penalty was awarded. The Pete Wrights probably felt they have done the needful, a bit lax on their part, but Patirana good enough to capitalize on it. Conversion successful by Yahya. So score is 17 points to 31, just about 90 seconds to go, Shanaka. And you're talking about a man of the match. Well, there have been some really good performances by the Pete Wrights, especially their three quarters. And I think we could narrow it down to their back three, isn't it? There were some wonderful performances by Pramod Silva, Pasindu Bandara, and Vishankar Silva. But for me, the man who sparked it was their fullback Bandara, isn't it? Just in that 10 minutes before halftime, two wonderful runs that just opened up the game in favor of the Peterites. So I'd probably like to nominate him as the man of the match of today's game.
No arguments from me, Abdullah. Pasindu Bandara, it is our NDB player of the game. Set up one try and scored another. It's Royal now through. Patirana trying to get another try. No danger of coming within the losing bonus point margin as well, but they might want to look for the 4-try margin. But they've coughed the ball up, and now a little bit of space opening for Dialog Navodaya. Dialog, in partnership with Vishankar Silva, sets it up, and Royals counter ruck is great. Kicking the ball away, unfortunately though. The chase is coming, but Rahul Peter will get there first. In fact, Pasindu Bandara will get there first and stays on his feet. He's a strong lad, isn't he? showing that he can defend as well as attack. And now the ball coming down favorably for Farooq. He's got to look left. Pathirana who scored the first Amana Bank try for Royal is going to score another. Beautifully done by Pathirana. He's been the best back for Royal by a long way. And the Royal crowd is elated. Not exactly sure why, but they are. And this lad looks like he's a cut above his colleagues when he has the ball in hand. His decision making is very clear, Abdullah, and he's got some nice hip swerve as well.
Yeah, that's right. Just got an eye for the gap as well. And this lad Farooq has made an impact coming off the bench as well, isn't it, Shanak, in this second half. Straightened out beautifully, inside out. And he's run around one of those back threes we were naming, and not an easy thing to do. For yet again another consolation try, you'd have to say, for Royal.
Well, he outpaced Praneeth Silva there, who's been on the park for a long time. But so has Pathirana. And he just didn't even break a sweat the way he went around him, Yuan Pathirana. That's the game, Abdullah. Not even a losing bonus point, unfortunately, for the Royalists today. This man has tried his darndest, Nabil Yahia. And congratulations all around for the Peterites, who came into this game needing to really defend their title challenge. Defend their title rather. And they've done it with some real superlativeness.
Absolutely. We talk so often, Shanaka, of rugby being a team game, isn't it? But if you take this particular game, it was just a few individuals who just opened this game up in favour of St. Peter's. Started off with Pasidhu Bandara, the two Peter right wing three-quarters as well played their part. And the Royal three-quarters on their part just couldn't find any fluency whatsoever. And you'd have to say at the end of the day, that was pretty much the difference between both teams.
Yes, it's not often that games at this level are decided by individual players. But the quality of these backs, Yumit Shihara, the strength and the speed, Emit Jahabira coming back into that lineup and giving that confidence with his experience. And then Pasidhu and Vishenka Silva. Vishenka, who scored 2 Amana Bank tries today and added to his try tally. And of course, Pasidhu Bandara at the back. And the reason we say it's individual, Abdullah, is because it was individual brilliance that sparked them. It was not that they can't play together as a team, but Royal just allowed them those sniffs and they took them beautifully.
Yes, one was from a pretty aimless kick and the other was off turn-off position just before halftime, isn't it? And just those 2 tries, you just felt Royal's heads dropping at that moment. But Royal, I thought, did well at the end to come back with a couple of tries of their own just to narrow the gap, but that just scant consolation for them. Peterites, you'd have to say, in pole position to annex the league from this point onwards. Royal will just need to lick their wounds, reassess and come back stronger. Still important trophy games coming up. They'll probably find themselves playing Isipatana in that first game of the second round, so it'll be an important match for them as well. Probably bring us different sort of a challenge as we have a look at Coach Dushant Luke. Probably pretty disappointed the way this game eventuated, but you'd have to give full credit to the Peterites the way they have come out and taken this game by the scruff of the neck at crucial moments and made it count.
Yes, it was a really big game going into the start of this season, and everything that's happened this season has led this to become an even bigger game to look forward to. But unfortunately for the neutrals, those tuned into ThePapare.com from wherever they are in the world, it didn't become the contest we expected it to, but it was still a wonderful performance by the defending champions St. Peter's. Royal just so close but so far in terms of their back play, missing one of their key players, Yahan Veerasurya, as well. And it's a 9-point gap in the end, which means that Royal don't even get the losing bonus point that could have come through with that conversion if Nabil Yahia's last kick of the game went over. Not sure that will be matter too much in the final analysis, but St. Peters and Isipathana remain the only two unbeaten sides in this league championship, Abdullah. They will meet in the second round, and that should be a match to look forward to as well.
It's pretty much the way it happened last year as well, isn't it, Shanaka? Those two schools entering the knockout final as well as ending as 1 and 2 and played the decider. So looks like it's an encore this year as well. But it's been a really good game of rugby. Probably that half-time score would have disappointed a couple of players, the supporters of Royal College, but St. Peter's eventually prevailing and deservedly so.
Well, if you felt the heat of this match, chill out, folks. Grab a Maliban Lemon Puff and make up your mood. Maliban Lemon Puff with real lemon and no artificial colors or flavors will give you a zesty kick to keep you chilled all game long. So next time when you need to chill, grab a Maliban Lemon Puff and chill like a champion. Maliban Lemon Puff. Chill when a lemon. Well, the Peterite crowd in stark contrast to the Royal section of the crowd. Vastly outnumbered, but unfortunately not on the scoreboard this afternoon, as the complex has capitulated for the first time in 14 years to the St. Peter's team. Here are the highlights. Vishankar Silva dancing feet, and Jayasuriya unable to lay a hand on him really. He's got really good lower body strength, isn't he? You can just tell from the way he runs. Lovely balanced runner, Abdullah. Rahul Peter kept the scoreboard ticking along as well. Didn't miss some regulation kicks, and here's Pathirana with the first Amana Bank try for Royal. Yeah, getting the kick over with the assistance of the two uprights. And here's this Pathirana who scored towards the end of the game. He's a big lad. Couldn't really make an impact, though he started the game from number 12. And Yahya with the conversion. And we talked about aimless hacks, Abdullah. Here's one, but this time it was by St. Peter's. And Pathirana this time had about 30 meters to finish this one off, which he did. Praneeth Silva couldn't catch him, and it just looks like he's not even in second gear the way he finishes those. So real quality player. And the BC Angi Cup being awarded to Dulaj Navodaya. Yumit Chihara coming across as well. And the rest of the Peterite team will join him. And a well-deserved win for the lads from Bambalapitiya here at the Reed Avenue Fortress. Ecstatic scenes from the defending champions as their closest rival has been dethroned. The title challenge from Royal derailed even temporarily. Let's see whether Royal have it in them to come back storming into this season. There's a few more matches left, and who knows, whoever comes into that second place, whether it's DS, whether it's Trinity, or whether it's Isipathana, will they have a crack at this St. Peter's team? Have St. Peter's peaked? Lots more to play for as this league carries on, but for now, it's the Peterites who reign supreme.
Yes, jubilant scenes here as the sun sets at the Royal College Sports Complex. So the key stats of today's game: 5 tries to 3 in favor of the Peterites. Most of the damage done in that first half. 3 of the 5 tries were converted against Royals 2. 1 penalty from Royal as well, and of course the player of the match today, St. Peter's fullback Pasindu Bandara.
The way Royal have defended this season, it's very unlikely that we thought it would be a 5-try fiesta, but that's exactly what it has been. 31 points to 22, the visitors winning at the complex for the first time in a long time. Pasindu Bandara with a special performance and a few other individual brilliant moments as well in this game, both from Royalists as well as Peterites. But this game, the most look forward to game that we had on the cards, has ended with the defending champions still remaining unbeaten. Lots more to come, of course, in this league. We'll bring you the results from across today's games and a lot more as we join you back on thepapare.com. These are what we have to look forward to, of course, on the Papare. We have Vidyartha taking on Wesley. That's tomorrow. And that's going to be an entertaining game. Looking forward to watching that one. And next week, we have... we'll show you next week's fixtures as soon as we get them confirmed. But for now, it's goodbye from us at the Royal College Sports Complex. From Abdullah Yusuf, myself, Shana Kamarasingh, and the rest of the Papare production crew. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Gold hair and body wash එක.
NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දී රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
Real energy for real life. Ride.
Gold hair and body wash එක.
එක පැත්තකින් වාගෙනදී තව පැත්තකින් මතුවෙනවා. මේ ටයිල් එක බෑ. දෙක තුනක් කැඩිලත් එක්ක.
චොමරි අක්කා. ජීවිත කාලය පුරාම අල්ලන් ඉන්න නම් ටයිල් අල්ලන්න ඕන ස්විස් ටෙක් ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව්.
ස්විස් ටෙක් ටයිල් ඇඩිසිව් අල්ලන්න හොඳම කෙනා.
Get keys to your wheels and experience people-friendly vehicle leasing with Amana Bank. Enjoy the lowest monthly installment and flexible financing up to 7 years. Apply online at www.amanabank.lk or call 0117 756 756. Amana Bank. It's your bank.
Radials. The road is yours.
Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff. Hamasitakma pipide, rasa lemon rasa ye. Jeevithayama mihirai, Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, chilvenna lemon.
හැමදේම අතළඟ තියෙද්දි දුක් විඳින්නේ ඇයි?
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
Real energy for real life. Ride.
Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff. Hamasitakma pipide, rasa lemon rasa ye. Jeevithayama mihirai, Maliban lemon puff puff, lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, Maliban lemon puff, chilvenna lemon. Beepa right, beepa right. Studies ikai jobs deka guna karanna.
Real energy for real life. Ride.
Surf Excel පළමු සේදුමෙන් ඉතා පහසුවෙන් තද පැල්ලම් ඉවත් කරන කම්ෆර්ට් ප්‍රීමියම් සුවඳ සමගින් දැන් රුපියල් 540කට පමණයි.
Gold hair and body wash එක.
නිකම් බොරුවට රිස්ක් එකක් ගන්නේ ඇයි? NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Colombo, beautiful outside and inside.
නිකම් බොරුවට රිස්ක් එකක් ගන්නේ ඇයි? NDB නියොස් තියෙද්දි රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Stop! Didn't you know you can get free delivery with Uber One? Wait, really? Yes, you can get unlimited free delivery on eligible orders with Uber Eats. Order this, and that, even groceries. You can also get 5% back in Uber credits on rides. Priority service exclusively with our top-rated drivers. And with Uber Eats, expect your order to arrive on time, every time. With just a few taps, unlock exclusive perks and savings. Plus enjoy your first month free. Sign up for Uber One now.
Get keys to your wheels and experience people-friendly vehicle leasing with Amana Bank. Enjoy the lowest monthly installment and flexible financing up to 7 years. Apply online at www.amanabank.lk.
Amana Bank. It's your bank.
Stop! Didn't you know you can get free delivery with Uber One? Wait, really? Yes, you can get unlimited free delivery on eligible orders with Uber Eats. Order this, and that, even groceries. You can also get 5% back in Uber credits on rides. Priority service exclusively with our top-rated drivers. And with Uber Eats, expect your order to arrive on time, every time. With just a few taps, unlock exclusive perks and savings. Plus enjoy your first month free. Sign up for Uber One now. Stop! Didn't you know you can get free delivery with Uber One? Wait, really? Yes, you can get unlimited free delivery on eligible orders with Uber Eats. Order this, and that, even groceries. You can also get 5% back in Uber credits on rides. Priority service exclusively with our top-rated drivers. And with Uber Eats, expect your order to arrive on time, every time. With just a few taps, unlock exclusive perks and savings. Plus enjoy your first month free. Sign up for Uber One now.
real energy for real life. Ride.
කොහෙන් හරි කමන්නේ ෆොටෝ එක තිබ්බනම් මට මේ බිත්තිය කැත වහගන්න තිබ්බා.
චෞමරි අක්කා.
පිත්තියට ස්විස්ටේ ස්කිම් කෝඩ් ගාලා ෆිනිෂ් කළා නම් ඔය ප්‍රශ්න මුකුත් නැහැ.
ස්විස්ටෙක් ස්කිම් කෝට් ෆිනිෂ් එකට හොඳම කෙනා.
Gold hair and body wash shaker.
It is my vision that wakes me up, not my alarm. I make mistakes, but I will never be defeated.
My biggest competitor is myself.
Vibe account from Commercial Bank for the youth who think beyond limits.
වතුරත් ලීක් වෙලා. ස්ලැබ් එකත් ඉවරයි. බලන්නකො දැන් සාලේ කැත. චමරි.
ස්විස්ටෙක් ඇක්වාෂීල් 2K waterproof දැම්මා නම් වතුර කාන්දු වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. හිතටත් නිදහස්.
ස්විස්ටෙක් ඇක්වාෂීල් 2K waterproofer සීල් කරන්න හොඳම කෙනා.
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න. beat එක remake කරන්න නැතෙන්න. හදවත බාවලා යන්න කින්නර fashion කරන්න. fun තුරන්න කොතුමි කික් කරන්න. cream කොතුමි fun තමයි.
Surf Excel පළමු සේදුමෙන් ඉතා පහසුවෙන් තද පැල්ලම් ඉවත් කරන කම්ෆර්ට් ප්‍රීමියම් සුවඳ සමගින් දැන් රුපියල් 540කට පමණයි.
NDB නියොස් තියද්දී රිස්ක් එකක් නැතුව කික් එකේ ෆන් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන්න වගේම චිල් එකේ බිල්ස් පේ කරන්න.
Seat Car Radials. The road is yours.